Welcome back to our Avintra Agent Builder training series. In this session, we're diving into the Subflow's module call agent and call block. In many workflows, you'll need to perform the same tasks again and again. For example, you might need to extract customer information from a message and then save it to an Excel file. Instead of rebuilding this logic in every workflow, you can create it once and reuse it wherever it's needed. That's exactly what subflows are for. You can keep your workflows simple, reusable, and much easier to maintain. Let's start by creating our main workflow. We will add a customer query input dialog where the user can enter a customer message. For now, this workflow simply collects the customer's message. The user's input will be stored in an output variable named customer message. Once we save and execute the workflow, whatever the user enters in the dialog will be available in this variable. Now, instead of adding the extraction logic directly into the workflow, we'll create a separate reusable automation agent. Click the plus icon and create a new agent named Customer Information Extraction Agent. You'll notice there are different flow types available, including automation agent, chat agent, and block. Since this agent is designed to perform automated processing as part of a workflow, we'll select Automation Agent. Once the agent is created, open it and add a text AI node. Rename it to Data Extraction Model. Next, enter the prompt that extracts the customer's name, email address, phone number, and query from the customer's message. Before integrating it into our workflow, let's test the agent independently. For now, we'll hard-code a sample customer message in the prompt and configure the output variable as result. When we execute the agent, the model processes the message and returns the extracted customer information as a structured JSON object stored in result. Testing the agent separately allows us to verify that the extraction logic is working correctly before connecting it to another workflow. Now let's configure the agent's inputs and outputs. Open the Inputs, Outputs configuration. Add an input named Customer Message Input. Provide an appropriate label and leave the default value blank. This input will receive the customer message from the main workflow. Next, add an output named result. This output will expose the structured response generated by the AI model to any workflow that calls this agent. Let's return to our main workflow. Click the plus icon, navigate to Subflows, and select Call Agent. Choose the Customer Information Extraction Agent that we just created. Notice that the agent automatically exposes its configured input and output. For the input, map the customer message variable from the input dialog to customer message input. The extracted response will be returned through the result output. Now replace the hard-coded customer message in the prompt with the customer message input variable. Save the agent. With the AI extraction complete, let's build another reusable component. Click the plus icon and create a new block named Write Data to Excel block. Inside this block, we'll build all the Excel automation. First, add the Launch Excel Application activity and configure the workbook path. Then add Set Active Excel Worksheet to select the required worksheet, followed by Get First Free Row to determine where the next customer record should be inserted. Before writing any data, let's configure the block's input. Open the Inputs Output settings from the three-dot menu and add an input named Excel Data. Provide a label such as AI Extracted Data to Excel. Leave the default value blank and keep the field type as text box. You could also see other available field types such as toggle and password, but for this example, we'll use text box. Since this block only performs an action and doesn't return any data, we don't need to configure any outputs. Now add a Write to Excel Worksheet activity. To test the block independently, we'll temporarily write the value test into the worksheet. After adding a Close Workbook activity, execute the block. We can see that the value test has been successfully appended to the worksheet. This confirms that the Excel automation is working correctly before we integrate it into the main workflow. Now replace the temporary test value with the appropriate fields from the Excel data input. Write the customer's name into the first column. Then duplicate the write activity 3 times and update each one to write the customer's email address, phone number, and query into their respective columns by changing both the value being written and the column index. Once the block is complete, return to the main workflow. Add a call block node and select the write data to Excel block. The block exposes the Excel data input that we configured earlier. Map the result output from the customer information extraction agent to this input and save the workflow. Our complete workflow is now ready. Let's execute it. The customer message input dialog appears. Enter a customer message and click OK. The workflow first calls the customer information extraction agent, where the large language model extracts the customer's name, email address, phone number, and query. The extracted result is then passed directly to the write data to Excel block. The block opens the workbook, finds the first available row, writes each value into its corresponding column, saves the workbook, and closes Excel. If you check the Excel sheet, you'll notice that the customer information has been added to the next available row. Since we previously inserted a test value during independent testing, the workflow correctly appends the new customer record below it. This demonstrates how call agent and call block work together using configurable inputs and outputs to build clean, modular, and reusable workflows. By separating AI processing into an automation agent and Excel automation into a reusable block, the main workflow remains simple, easy to maintain, and easy to reuse across multiple business processes. We have learned how to use Subflow's module and Avintra Agent Builder. Continue exploring the platform to build more intelligent automation workflows.